Frozen.
Jeez.
Hey, everybody. It's, welcome back to this episode of Think Business Live. Looking forward to talking to Karen Larson and Jamie Saunders, co-founders of Clear Brand Strategy, integrated marketing and branding best practices. You both have decades of experience helping brands get the most out of their marketing through creative ideas and execution. And, I think the first question I'd love to ask both of you is, what's it like starting a company? Because a lot of people have been talking about it, starting a company during a pandemic. Karen, maybe we'll start with you. Yeah.
I think it's exciting because, first of all, we have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
So it gives us something to focus on.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy year, and working with Jamie to start this business has really been a fantastic distraction from everything going on.
Yeah.
So, and business is still happening.
Yeah.
Professionals still need to get stuff done. So I think it's been the perfect time to start a business.
Yeah. And Jamie, I have a question for you, but Karen, based on what you just said, I agree with you. I think it's a great time to start a business. There are a lot of businesses that are doing really well. And there are a lot of businesses, I would say most businesses, that really understand the power of marketing, the power of communications, the power of content, the power of messaging, and where they were off. And it's really, really important, I think, to have all of those amongst many things, but specifically those in a world where you have to communicate and grow via social, via your email list, and be very, very conscious, more conscious today than you were yesterday. So, Jamie, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to communications, when it comes to content, how important are those things for companies to get current with where they are and where they need to be?
Yeah, I mean, I read an article about a month ago that said that we've jumped decades in technology just over the last 8 months. And I can see that from my clients. So Karen and I both run successful businesses totally separate from one another. And we've talked about doing this for, probably 10 years now, and jokes over drinks, we should totally work together. And I think we both started seeing, I was getting an influx of people asking me, I write, copy and content, but I was getting design requests and I didn't have a go-to person for that. And I think Karen was getting the opposite, she was getting content requests, and both of us just decided, hey, no time like the present. We didn't really have a model or a plan. We just kind of jumped in. But I think it was about serving that need. We saw just an elevation in the sheer number of people that were asking for content, whether designed, written, whatever. So, I think there's you have to avoid the knee-jerk reaction as companies to stop your marketing plans when you feel like your business is down.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've been taught my entire career. And it's really the first time as a private business owner that I've experienced that, where all of a sudden in July and August, all my clients were like, we're not ready, to keep going because we don't know where we're going. And you have to kind of coach them through that moment of, well, you can't go dark, so what can we do to help you just keep it going, keep the messaging going out there? And they're saying, well, we don't want to disturb people and they don't want to hear from us. And you can't think like that. You kind of just need to proceed forward with whatever your business plan was. There are still parts of it that are relevant, so.
I'm a big fan that when your business is down, it's time to double down.
I can't disagree. Yeah.
You don't go backwards, you double down. I'm a business coach. I'm coaching people all over the country, the world as well. But you double down and content. So I have a question. If content is king, what's design?
Design.
Right.
My first go-to is always design is the icing on the cake. Design is what grabs people. While content might be king, design is queen, and design is going to shine. So design is going to you know, people need that visual cue
Yeah.
to connect. And that's what design is.
Yeah. I always look at things where if you can do things that hit all the different, the people that are visual, the people that are auditory, the people that are kinesthetic, that is, you take a great message with a great design, you create an emotional connection with somebody. That's really important.
Well, design is what makes people stop.
Yeah.
And look and really, really, truly get their head around what they're reading.
Yeah.
Whether it's an infographic or a beautiful illustration, that's what's going to stop people to read the article or whatever they're reading deep and get a deeper experience with it. And it's what's going to help people remember it.
Yeah.
So remember who they're, who they've just passed through on their feed while they're just sitting there, soaking in whatever.
Yeah. Important to be memorable. But I want to talk about marketing versus branding. Like, what comes first? Right? The chicken or the egg? Marketing or branding or marketing? I think sometimes people don't know where to invest their dollars. And so I think sometimes what I find is when people don't know where to invest their dollars, then they look at it as an expense because it gets overwhelming. They can chalk it off to an expense, and then they just kind of move on. Then they realize, hey, in hindsight, I should have done X. And so talk to the companies out there that need to market, need to brand, what comes first, and how to begin.
Okay, branding comes first. You can't market without a good brand.
Okay.
There's a lot of discussion out there as to whether branding is part of marketing, but our belief is that branding comes first. Branding sets the tone. Branding defines who you are as a company. Branding defines your audience. You figure out who the persona is for the person that you're talking to as a business owner or as a business. And so branding is the cornerstone of your business and your branding.
And what are 2 or 3 things that you do when you're branding? Because I think sometimes people don't know how to kind of define what that is or how to fit it into a box. So what is define branding? Like measurable things that people can do. Okay.
The first thing you need to do is look at your company and audit what you're doing from a marketing perspective. Who are you reaching out to? Are you reaching out to the right people? So first, you're defining who's your audience. Second, what is your message and tone that you're communicating with? As, John and I know you and I have talked about in the past, companies have personalities and personas. So, are you communicating that tone, that message? Thirdly, your visual. Again, it's connecting. That's what's connecting people.
Yeah.
And that's what makes things, helps to make things between your tone and your brand. It starts to set a consistent tone across everything you do, whether it's client experience. And then, you can delve in. Then you're designing.
Right. Well, I don't want to delve in. I just want to give people the first couple of steps, right? So that's the branding. So that now you're opening up the door, because I think people can only receive so much, especially in a couple of minutes.
Sure.
And so now we enter into marketing. So now, where does marketing play the role, and what are some key things that people can do and or substantiate? Jamie.
Yeah, to me, I feel like, once we've set the tone and you've decided all of those things that Karen just mentioned, it's your opportunity to really build strategic campaigns around those thoughts and ideas. So what Karen and I do is listen to what your goals are, hear your business goals, and then try to make, creative campaigns around those things. So right now we have, if you don't mind an example, we're working with a client who, was really looking to do PR and communications in a bigger way and grab a bigger slice of the pie. And what we figured out over time is working with B2B customers, such as they were, we decided to just take their marketing dollars and focus on one channel. So we really honed in on LinkedIn as a way for them to grow value and become thought leaders and So every week they've got, an infographic, which is a mix of the, content and design. And then the next week they've got a blog article coming out from one of their sales reps or from one of their business leaders. And then we go back to design and we put another, hot graphic out there that really supports maybe not their product, but something in their arena, that they can focus on. And then we just continue down that loop, and then we can change things and continue to be fluid and fluctuate as we see, what is happening. But they signed up for a 3-month program, and it's been great so far just to watch the progress. And then, they'll say, oh, we really like infographics. Yes, but we really need to have a coordinated campaign. Everything can't just be infographics or people will tune you out. So, just being creative and thinking about, keeping the content fresh and positive and moving forward is always what we're trying to do.
And something that, and I think sometimes it's hard for people to put in a continuum, continually be creative, continually be fresh, continually put new content out there. But one of the things I see is people and companies struggle with consistency. And the reason you need mentors and companies and people like the two of you is because you need somebody from the outside in saying, hey, I'm picking up on X and Y, and in the market is this, and these indicators that I'm seeing, here's where I think we need to tweak it this much, your messaging, your content. Here's there's so many ideas that mentors and coaches and professionals, third parties bring to a table. And so my question to you is, for the people who see you as an expense, who are pointing to the person in their company that has extra time, which probably they really don't, to take this initiative, and then they tell somebody who has really very little creativity to be creative and keep content fresh, and then it doesn't go anywhere. What do you say to that person to say, here's the investment and here's why you need to, invest in yourself and the company?
Do you mind if I take this one, Karen?
Please do.
So having sat in that chair, your day is filled with meetings and, tiresome conversations, and you're just, expected to do work at work, before work, now with email and phones and whatever, you're working all the time. And so you honestly need that influx of creativity periodically, because I don't know how many times sitting in that chair, someone would call me up, that we were working with a partner or someone, and they would say, hey, I noticed that you guys are doing X. Have you thought about doing this? And I'd be like, oh my God, you're a lifesaver, because you can't, there's not enough hours in the day to be able to do it all, So to me, it's like almost like having another, part of your brain that's always working on something else, allowing you to continue to focus on the job at hand. So our job is to make you look good. And that was the vendors and the partners that I always wanted to work with, were people who were willing to take that risk, to call me up, to point out a flaw, to point out something we could be doing, or that the market's doing, or that our competitors are doing. That shows that there's a value in having those people out there scouting for you, so you can just stay focused on what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. Yeah. I'd like to add really quick, I've found with a lot of, I would say 20 people type companies, they think that if somebody's down, somebody else can handle their PowerPoint. They can handle their email campaign. They can handle, and that's where inconsistencies start happening. If you invest the money to create a brand, the people that have created that brand for you have 20 or 30 years of experience. A lot of times they know what they're doing. They've built a consistent, a consistent toolbox, but the people that implement that toolbox have to be experienced, or it's going to show, and it's going to impact the client experience.
Right.
The clients are going to see that you're starting to get cheap on your marketing, and they're going to kind of say, well, what's going on? So all of these, the investment that you make is an investment in your client's experience.
Yeah.
That's, and I cannot say that strong enough. And if they see that your branding isn't as good as it used to be, as it should be, they have to question what they mean to you. I mean, clients are set, customers especially, we serve professional advisors and corporate marketers.
Yeah.
And professional advisors include wealth managers, accountants, attorneys. These people, the clients of these people, they're savvy, they're design savvy. They have beautiful, beautiful homes. They have a beautiful life experience. It's what they have become accustomed to. So you need to serve that up. That is just part of doing business.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When it comes to all really good thoughts and great feedback, I want to talk about original content real quickly, because there's so many different types of content. I mean, there's podcasting, there's videos, there's lives, there's blogs, there's vlogs, there's so many. But I just want to talk about original content that companies are producing, and the importance of that. I have my opinion, but I'd love yours. Jamie, let's start with you. How much and how consistently and do people need to do original content? But first, how important is original content?
Yeah, I mean, I think original content is probably one of the most important pieces of the content puzzle, because it's your opportunity to show the value that you bring to your clients or potential clients. So if you don't know your stuff, nobody wants to work with you. So if all you're doing is retweeting or posting articles that are written by other people, you might have a beat on what's going on in the industry, but how are you applying that back to your company and your company standards and your company values and what you can bring to someone? So, people are inundated with content, and this is your opportunity to really individualize your content and make it something that people want to see in their feed. So I think there's high value. I would say it's more like 75-25. You should be creating, every 3 out of 4 posts should be yours, and you should own that and really invest in having somebody create it if you can't. But what I find, John, is when I'm on the phone with my clients and with our clients, is they have so many great ideas, and you just get them talking. And all of a sudden you're writing an article while you're on the phone with somebody. Right. You turn it around and they're like, oh, wow. And I'm like, all this stuff is in your head. You just, need to dedicate an hour a week to talking to me about it so I can get it out there for you. I don't even think people realize how much they actually have in their minds, that's really valuable to other people.
Right. Well, it's all about streamlining, creating systems and processes, and then getting some routines in place. Mm-hmm. and the right team around you. Mm-hmm. I have 8 people on my team that are all virtual, that help me do everything. And there's editors and writers and producers, and I mean, just like, graphic designers and marketing. I mean, you need a team to do it. And so you just got to utilize your resources. And I'll say this too, bulk your stuff, right? Create a lot of content at once, so you have a shelf and a library of some great content. Mm-hmm. Let's go into a quick speed round, and then we'll end with one last question. All right. So the number one thing that you learned about starting a business during a pandemic is, Jamie?
You just got to go. You can't think too hard. We were going on the fly. Yeah. You just got to go. If you're ready and you feel like you're ready, you just got to go. You got to pull the trigger and just start writing, just start doing stuff, and it will come.
Yeah, I agree. Karen, the number one piece of wisdom you would give somebody graduating college today?
Find a mentor. I know I've given that one before, and it's the same one I would give now.
Yeah. Tell everybody, I love it. Tell everybody who your ideal clients are and how they can get a hold of you.
Our ideal clients are, again, we serve 2 different types of clients. We serve professional advisors, meaning wealth advisors, accountants, and attorneys. And we also serve corporate marketers, those directors of marketing and corporations, VPs of marketing that do not have the creative support that they need, or that need a fresh point of view. And they can get hold of us at clearbrandstrategy.com.
Great. Jamie, any last words?
No, I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. I hope more people just see a need and fill it, you know? I mean, that's what life is all about. Just find a need and fill it.
You know, I think we're at a time right now as we sit here November 19th. The world changed March 15th of 2020. I don't think it'll ever be the same. Even post-vaccine, you know, so many things have changed. And I think from a marketing standpoint, from a content standpoint, from a branding standpoint, through the end of 2020 and through the end of 2021, I think there is an opportunity for companies to double down and keep on doubling down because there's more eyes on social and email lists because less people are going to the office, they're on social, and we have a lot of eyeballs right now. And so it's time to take advantage of that. E-commerce is going to grow, innovation is going to grow, and you need to be on social with the right message and the right tone because it can be wrong by this much, and companies I see can make such a big mistake. So companies like you do great work. So I appreciate you being on the show as a resource. If anybody can use Karen or Jamie's services, reach out to clearbrandstrategy.com. And or leave a comment and or share this with somebody that could use it. Karen, Jamie, thanks so much for being on the show. Thanks. I appreciate it. I wish you all the best on the growth and success of your business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye.